They've spent countless hours rehearsing, learning, dancing. It's been super fun. I would like to extend a special thank you to our parent volunteers because, clearly I can't run everywhere, and they have done a fabulous job running the front of the house for me. So if you see them, tell them thank you because they've done a great job. I'd also like to thank my friend Elizabeth who came to rescue me at the last second when things fell apart because she's wonderful. And if there are any current or former kindergarten teachers in the audience, will you please rise? I can't see you, I'm assuming you're there. Our kids spent some time researching what kindergartners like. They have learned that kindergarten teachers are a very special set of people who have a very special place in heaven. Thank you very much for being kindergarten teachers. We'd like to draw your attention to our sponsors. Bright Audiology has done a fabulous job every year and every production of giving us wonderful programs. So please use them whenever you can. We'd also like to thank Flowers by Eddie for spending time and donating flowers to us for every production. If you'd like to be a sponsor, we're always willing to take money because everything that we do is self-sponsored. We have to raise our own ticket money, our own costumes, makeup, everything. And any donation over $25 is tax deductible. You can fill out the form at the concessions or, the box office, or mail me a check and I'll mail you a receipt. Does that sound good? Great. We'd also like to remind you to like us on Facebook and Instagram. Then you'll know what we're doing next because we do lots of fun things and we'd love for you to come see them. During intermission, which will be 15 minutes, the concessions will be open. You'll have drinks and snacks. There are flowers for sale. If you'd like to buy a bouquet, we can send it back to your performer in the middle of intermission. It makes them super happy and they're like, oh, someone loves me, I got flowers. So feel free to do that as well. My students would like you to understand that our show is a little different than normal. It is not a top to bottom flow. It's actually a story told by individual short stories. I thought you might be confused. We'd also like to remind you to take your moment to turn your cell phones off. We have some really fantastic microphones. The Mann Center gave us a brand new sound system. Your cell phones inhibit that, and if sound is crappy, we'll just blame you. Also, we'd love for you to take pictures, but please turn your flash off because nobody likes to be followed by the paparazzi or the mom. Finally, our show always has a message. We took inspiration this time from Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, which says, "In the same way, let your light so shine before men, that others may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven." Thank you for coming. I need to invite someone to pray. Who would like to do that for me? Any brave volunteers out there? Not any of them. Okay, well, no Mr. Painson. I guess I'll do it. Everybody bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for these young people who have done an amazing job putting together a very professional show. God, I pray that you would bless them in their efforts, that you would bless our audience in their travels, and that everyone would be just overwhelmed with your gracious glory. And in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Yes! How many of you can write poetry? Yes! I only dance to rock and roll.
I only sing in the shower.
I only draw conclusions.
When asked why the limitations are, college students answer.
I don't have any talent. I haven't done any of that stuff since about the 3rd grade.
Who's got the time?
That's not my major.
Try their same questions on a much more older audience.
I know.
Whatever happens for kindergarten now. Whatever happens, yes, of course I can.
I've become so caught up in my grown-up stuff. It seems I've lost my spontaneity, my convention, perspective on living life. Every day at my job with my family, but I'm discovering
All I really need to know, I learned in kindergarten about how to live,
What to do?
How to be.
things and involves code of ethics, not some grassroots mumbo jumbo that's had the greatest impact on me. I learned, share,
play fair,
Don't give people.
don't take things that don't belong to you.
Heard someone say you're sorry.
to name just a few.
Clean up your own mess and wash your hands before you eat. Hold hands and sing together when you cross the street.
Flush.
Live a balanced life, find something, some work and play.
And sing, dance, drum.
And take a nap each day.
Beware of wonder. Think of the seed in the paper cup. Who knows why the root goes down and the plant goes up? But we're all like that. Yeah, just as the seed, the mouse, the bee, and the goldfish will all die someday. Well, so will we. Remember the first word you learned in your Jake and Jane book. The biggest, most important word of all.
Everything you need to know is in there somewhere. Building room to basic sanitation. Really, I have known these things all of my life. Living them. Well, that's another conversation.
Apply any of these items to your government, your family life, or your career. Translate them into sophisticated grown-up terms, and they will all hold true and firm and clear.
If we all stop to take a nap each day, think how much better our world would be. Or what if cleaning up their own mess were a matter of our government's policy?
It's true
When we go out into the world, it means uncertain times, uncertain weather. It doesn't
Cinderella.
You know how it goes. Shy, agreeable, protagonist, victimized by abusive step-parents, waits for wise matriarchal figures to rescue her from codependency to bliss. Basically, if you're good looking, good at heart, and have a fairy godmother, you've got it made.
It was a good choice from the teacher's point of view. Since there were so many characters, each child could be in the play.
A list of characters was compiled as the class talked through the plot of the drama.
There was the absolutely ravishing Cinderella.
The wicked step.
The two wicked but stupid stepsisters.
The beautiful and wise fairy god person.
Mice.
Coachman.
King,
All the people at the king's ball.
Generals.
knights,
Princesses.
And of course, that ultimate object of fabled desire, the prince.
Who, if you remember, was only a salesman interested in pushing his inventory of glass slippers. Each child was allowed to choose roles for themselves. Each child was labeled with felt pen and paper and told to go stand on the other side of the ring while casting was complete. Finally, each child had a part.
Each child except Norman, who had stayed disengaged through the whole selection process. Norman was different. Not weird. Different. He was always thinking. And unlike most great thinkers, he was tasted a lot by his classmates. And lived on the fringe of kindergarten society.
Well, Norman, what are you going to be?
I'm gonna be the pig.
Pig? There's no pig in the story of Cinderella.
Well, there is now.
Norman did not relate to being a pumpkin or a mouse or a coachman.
He knew his character, pig.
And he was not about to go over and stand against the wall where a loser would stand.
He intended to participate wherever pigs fit into the scheme of things, without giving up dignity or identity. He took it for granted that pigs had a place in the play, and that the teacher would know that.
So, what do you say to a kid who's already put on a costume of pink long underwear, paper cup for a nose, and pipe cleaner for a tail?
What do you say to an innocent little pig who doesn't see his career as an actor teetering on the brink of utter humiliation?
And what do you say to all pigs? All those who are different and do not accept the available boxes or pigeonholes.
So what did the teacher say at the moment?
Well, sometimes teachers talk more like fairy godmothers.
So be it.
Norman was declared pig of the show.
And since there was nothing in the script explaining what the pig was supposed to do, Norman got to choose his own part. He chose the best walk-on part in the history of children's theater. He was Cinderella's personal pig. Where she went, he went.
He simply sat on his back conscious and observed what was going on like some silently supported Greek chorus.
The expression on his face reflected dramatic action, looking worried,
Puzzled,
Sad,
hopeful,
anxious,
mad,
bored,
sick,
and pleased as the moment required.
There was no doubt about what was going on or that it was important. At the climax, when the prince finally slid the slipper on Cinderella's foot, and the ecstatic couple hugged and rode off happily ever after, the pig made his move. He went wild, dancing across the whole entire stage and barking like a dog.
In rehearsal, the teacher would try to explain to Norman, even if there was a pig in the story of Cinderella, there's no such thing as a dancing, barking pig.
Well, there is now.
It's true, Carmen. It's true. Knock him dead, pig.
The presentation at the evening's conference was a smash hit.
When Norman danced his dance, the crowd of weary teachers laughed and wept and cheered.
And later, when the pig stumbled out for his curtain call, the applause turned into a spontaneous standing ovation.
The teacher could see that the real hero was not the little girl with long hair and button nose, but Johnny. barking pig.
And that the real fairy godmother was not the girl with the fairy, but the teacher, and she married.
The kindergarten class had many invitations to co-perform their highly acclaimed performance of Cinderella at many other teacher conferences. Sometimes the teacher would have to explain what was so unique about the performance.
It has a pig in it, you see?
Oh, really?
Yes, the star of the show is a dancing, barking pig.
But there is no dancing barking pig in the story of Cinderella.
Well, there is now.
On an early dry dark October evening, the neighborhood children are playing hide and seek. How long since I played hide and seek? 40 years? Okay, maybe more. I knew I could join their game in an instant if they invited me. But adults don't play hide and seek. Not for fun anyway. Did you have a kid in your neighborhood who hid too good? So good nobody could ever find him? We did. After a while, we would give up on him, leaving him to rot wherever he was. Finally, he would come out, all mad that we didn't keep looking for him. And we would get mad back that he didn't play the game the way it was supposed to be played. There's hiding and there's finding, we'd say. And we'd say it's hide and seek, not hide and give up. And we'd all yell about who made the rules and who cared about who anyhow, and how we wouldn't play with him if he didn't get it right and things like that. He hid too good. He's probably still hiding somewhere for all I know. The neighborhood game goes on, and there's a kid under my front window hiding in a pile of leaves. He has been there for some time now, and I considered going out to the base and telling him where he was hiding. And I thought about setting the leaves on fire. Finally, I just yelled, "Get back, kid!" It's hard to know how to be helpful sometimes. A man I know found out last year he had terminal cancer. He was a doctor and knew about dying, but he didn't want to make his family and friends suffer through that with him. So he kept his secret, and he died. Everybody said how angry it was that he didn't need him to entrust their strength, and they were sad that he hadn't said goodbye. He hid too good. Getting found would have kept him in the game. Hide and seek, grown-up style. Needing to hide, wanting to be sought, confused about being found. Better than hide and seek, I like a game called sardines. Now in sardines, the person who is it goes and hides, and everybody goes looking for him. But when they find him, they don't let anybody know. Instead, they get in there and hide with him. Pretty soon, everybody's hiding together, all stacked in a heap like a pile of puppies. And then somebody giggles. And then somebody laughs. And everybody gets found. By the sound of laughter, everybody gets found.
True story.
True story.
True story, Larry Walters.
Our hero. Walter's a truck driver. Your average guy. He's sitting in his lawn chair in his backyard, wishing he could fly.
For as long as he can remember, he wanted to be up, to be high up in the air somewhere, to ride the sky.
But there is no way he was ever going to pilot a plane. Hang gliding just looked too dangerous.
So, Larry Walter spent a lot of summer afternoons sitting in his backyard in his old, ordinary aluminum lawn chair, the kind with the leather rivets.
The next chapter takes place on July 2nd, 1982. In the newspaper and on television across the country.
There's old Larry Walters flying at last.
Really? Getting up there?
Still sitting in his old balloon lawn chair. Only now he's tied up to 45 surplus helium weather balloons.
He has a CB radio, a parachute, a 6-pack of soda, a couple peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and a BB gun pops when the balloon comes down.
Only instead of shooting up a couple of 100 feet in the air, Larry Walters shot up 11,000 feet, right through the approach corridor to the Los Angeles International Airport. This is a true story.
The human race sits in this chair. Some saying there's nothing left to do.
Others that the human situation is hopeless.
Meanwhile, the Larry Walters of the world are busy tying balloons to their chairs.
When asked by the press why he did it, he said,
You can't just sit there.
When asked if he was scared, he answered,
You bet.
When asked if he would do it again, he answered,
Never.
when asked, are you glad you did it?
Are you glad you did it?
"Are you glad you did it?"
He grinned from ear to ear and said,
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes.
If the dream is held close to heart,
An imagination is held close to hand.
everything is still possible.
In the Solomon Islands in the South Pacific, native villagers practice a unique form of logging. If a tree is too large to be felled with an axe, the natives cut it down by yelling at it. I swear I read it somewhere, but I can't seem to lay my hands on the article. Woodsmen with special powers creep up on the tree just at dawn and yell at the top of their lungs. They continue this for 35 days. Then the tree dies and falls over. According to the villagers, this kills the spirit in the tree, and it always works. Aw, those poor naive natives. Me? I yell at my cable.
I got my foot.
At my homework.
at my brother.
At my iPad.
At my dogs.
At myself. At my teddy bear. At my friends. And at machines. Especially machines! Machines and relatives get most of the yelling. Don't know what good it does. Machines and things just sit there. Even Dickie doesn't know how to help. As for people, while the Solomon Islanders may have a point, yelling at living things does tend to kill the spirit in them. Talking with a friend on the phone, she has a case of the midwinter spiritual rot and a terminal cold she's had since September.
Well, you don't ever get depressed, do you?
Are you kidding? There are sometimes I get so low it takes an extension ladder to climb out.
So, what do you do? I mean, what do you do?
No one ever pinned me down quite like that before. Normally which is usually bad news for pianists and singers. By 1818, when he was 48, he was stone cold dead, which makes it all the more amazing that he completed his great Ninth Symphony 5 years later. He never really heard it. He just thought it. So I lie there with my earphones on, wondering if it could ever sound the same way in my head the way it sounded to him. The crescendo rises, and my sternum starts to vibrate, and by the time the final head comes around the all of big chorus, I'm on my feet, singing along with gibberish drumming, the combined choir, and all three goes, hallelujah, 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 thank the Lord! Uplifted, excited, around, and overwhelmed, and alive! Out of all that sorrow and frustration, out of all that deep and permanent silence, came all that majesty and joy. He defied his fate with jubilation, and I can't just sit there in my winter attitude, wringing my hands, feeling sorry for myself in the fate of that music. Not only does it wipe away spiritual rot, it probably cures cold too. So one night, one incredible December night, when I am very rich, I will personally rent a grand hall and a great choir and a mighty symphony orchestra, and I will personally conduct the night. I will personally play the kettle drum part all the way through while simultaneously singing along at the very top of my lungs. And in the awesome silence that follows, I will thank God for Ludwig van Beethoven, for his ninth and his life. Men alive!
Was sharp, urgent, insistent, a foreboding of crisis. Me, rushing to the door, fumbling with the lock, my adrenaline pumping, preparing for emergency. Small boy, odd expression. He hands me a scrawled note on a much folded piece of paper. My name is Donnie. I will rake your leaves. $1 a yard. I am deaf. You can write to me, I can read. I rake good. Now, behind our house is a row of tall, middle-aged, matronly maple trees, extravagantly decked out in a million-leaf sequins. And in season, these sequins detach and line out the feet of these creatures, like dressing gowns they've just stepped out of in preparation for the bath of winter. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks very much.
His wife does not. Neither does a garden magazine. Leaves are moldy, slimy.
There's a reason for leaves. There's no reason for mowed grass. So say I.
His wife does not.
There's an unspoken accusation in the air of laziness.
We've been through this before.
But this time a bargain has been struck in the name of the scientific method. Half of the yard will be properly raked, and the other half will be left in the care of nature. Come summer, we shall see.
So my half will be raked.
And mine will not.
We shall see.
Yes, we shall. In a way, the trees are there because of the leaves. Zillions of seeds helicopter out of the sky each year to green the earth. And the leaves follow to protect and nourish the next generation. But stony ground, rot, bugs, bacteria, birds, and people all interfere. But somehow, some seeds make it. Some tenacious seeds take hold and hold on and hold on and plant themselves and survive to become the next generation. This process has been going on for ages, and we mess with this process at our peril. So say I. This is important. My name is Donnie. I will rake your leaves. $1 a yard. I am deaf. You can write to me, I can read. I rake good. He holds out the paper and pencil with hope and patience and goodwill. How can I explain to him this scientific experiment going on in my backyard? He turns to go, and quickly I take the paper and write. Yes, I would like you to rake my leaves. There is a grave nod from this attentive businessman child. Do you rake them when they are wet? Yes. Do you have your own rake? No. This is a big yard. I think I should give you $2. 3. We have a contract. The rake is procured, and Tommy the leaf raker goes to work in the fast-falling November twilight. In silence he rakes, and in silence I watch him from the window of the dark house. Are there any sounds at all in his mind, I wonder? He rakes the leaves into a large pile as instructed. Of course, I will spread them out again after he is gone. I am stubborn about this. But he goes back over the yard, picking up missed leaves by hand and carrying them to the pile. He is stubborn about his values. Raking the leaves means all the leaves. He signs to me that it is getting dark and that he must go home to eat and leaves the work unfinished. Having paid him in advance, I wonder if he will return. At my age, I'm getting cynical. But come morning, he has returned his task. And after much meticulous work, the yard is leaf-free. I see him stoop down and pick up some of the brightest yellow leaves and stuff them into the pocket of his sweatshirt, along with a whole handful of helicopter seeds. He reports to the door, signing that the work is done. As he walks away up the street, I see him tossing one helicopter seed into the air after another. A French benefit. And I stand in my own door in silence, smiling at his grace. A French benefit. Tomorrow, I will go back out over the yard and push those leaves over the embankment into the ravine behind our house. I will do it in silence. The leaves, it seems, will just have to work out their own destiny down there this year. I wouldn't have the heart to do his work. My scientific experiment will just have to stand aside for something more human. The leaves have let go. The trees have let go. And now it's time for me to let go and cast my lot with this child, who, like the seed, is another one of nature's tenacious survivors. Hold on, Donnie. Hold on.
Whatever else I might say, she'll reach into her skin and
that he when I found the gun. I told him once how I doubt that Jesus ever had to bring that gun down. He agreed. My dad. It was the only theological discussion we ever had. How many of you would like to be adults out on your own?
All hands shoot up without hesitation. Then the speaker is severely paid so happy to hear groan. Clean out the sink strainer.
Punch out the toilet.
Clean up the baby when it poos empty.
Clean up the baby when it throws up strained spinach.
Wipe your noses.
Scrape out the kitty litter.
Clean up the dog food.
Bury dead pets and they can run over the street.
At this point, some students may not want to go on, but sooner or later, the truth will dawn. The fact is membership in community depends on our willingness to do these chores, my friend. Being an adult is dirty work, but someone has to do it.
Summer of 1959 at the Feather River Inn in Sierra Nevada Mountains, Northern California. Just out of college, and I have a job that combines with being the night desk clerk at the lodge and helping out with the horse wrangling at the stables. The owner and slash manager is Italian Swiss with European notions about conditions of employment. He and I do not get along. I think that he's a fascist who wants peasant employees to know their place. And he thinks that I'm a great example of how democracy can be carried too far. The whole week, the place had to do the same thing for lunch. Hot dogs, a mound of sauerkraut, and stale rolls. Friday night of that awful week, I went into the kitchen to get a bite to eat and saw next to the chef to the condition that hot dogs and sauerkraut were on the employee menu for 2 more days. And I was outraged.
That tears it! I quit!
For want of a better audience, I unloaded on the night auditor, Sigmund Woolman.
I have had it up to here. I'm going to get a plate of hot dogs and sauerkraut, wake up the owner and throw it on him. I am sick and tired of this crap and insulted. And nobody's going to make me eat hot dogs and sauerkraut for a whole week and make me pay for it. Who does he think he is anyhow? How can life be sustained on hot dogs and sauerkraut? It's not American. And all the hotels stinks anyhow. And all the horses are nags. And all the guests are idiots. And I'm packing my bags and heading for Montana, where they never even heard of hot dogs and sauerkraut and wouldn't feed that stuff to pigs.
You get the idea. I raved on that way for 20 minutes. My monologue was repeated at the top of my lungs.
The top of my lungs.
Punctuated by blows.
Blows on the front chest.
The kicking of Chet.
And much blessing hearts.
A call to arms.
Freedom! Unions! Uprisings! And the breaking of chains for the working masses!
As I pitched my pen, Sigmund Woolman watched me with sorrowful eyes. You put a bloodhound in a suit, and you've got Sigmund Woolman. He's got a reason to be sorrowful. Survivor of Auschwitz. 3 years, German jail. He liked the night job. It gave him intellectual space. Gave him time to think. And even more, he he could go into the kitchen and get a bite to eat whenever he wanted. To him, a feast. The only person he sees at work is me. Our shifts overlap for an hour. And here I am again, a one-man war party at full cry.
Are you finished?
No. Why?
Listen to me. You know what's wrong with you? It's no hot dogs, and it's no crap, and it's nothing else, and it's nothing chef, and it's not this job.
What's wrong with me?
You don't know the difference between an inconvenience and a problem. If you break your leg, if you have nothing to eat, if your house is on fire, you got the problem. Everything else is just inconvenience. Life is inconvenient. Life is lovely. You begin to learn the difference between an inconvenience and a problem, you'll live longer. If you want to know people like me so much, good night!
In the late night darkness of the Feather River Inn, Sam and Coleman simultaneously kicked my butt and opened a window in my mind. Problem or inconvenience? I call this the moment test of reality. Life is inconvenient. Life is lumpy. But a lump in the throat, a lump in the oatmeal, and a lump in the chest are not the same lump. We should learn to know the difference. Good night, Sig.
is 1963. From deep within the Canadian aisles of the supermarket comes what sounds like a small-scale bus wreck, followed by an air raid. If you follow the running box boy armed with mop and broom, you would come across a young father, his 3-year-old son, an upturned shopping cart, and half of the pickle shelf all in a heap on the floor. The child, who was not hurt, is experiencing what might nicely be described as significant fluid loss. Tears mixed with mucus from a runny nose, mixed with blood from a small forehead abrasion, mixed with saliva from a mouth that is drooling wide open, and making a noise that would drive a dog under a bed. The father has stayed amazingly calm in the face of this catastrophe because he is thinking about running away from home. Just quietly turning and walking away, getting into the car, driving away to California maybe, getting a job as a paperboy or a cook in an all-night diner, something, anything that does not involve contact with 3-year-olds. But in the most private part of his heart, he is sorry. Sorry he was born, sorry he grew up, sorry he married, sorry he had children, and above all, sorry that this particular model cannot be traded in for one that works. He cannot and will not say these things, but they are there, and they are not funny. The father picks up the sobbing child and carries him to the car. They drive home, and the father carries the child up to his crib and tucks him in, and stares at him for a long time. The father does not run away from home.
This is 1976. Same father faces his living room. In his hand is what's left of the note, crumpled into a ball and uncrumpled again. The letter is from his 16-year-old son, the same son from the pickle juice. Pride of his father's eye, or was, until today's day. The tables have turned now. It's the son who's right most of all. He says he hates his father and wishes he never had one. He says that his father's a jerk and a failure as a parent. And he ends, "You can kiss my grits and drop dead." The father is shouting at the ceiling, "Why me? Why me? Why me?" Well, the answer is simple. He has a son. The son is 16. It happens. Someday, some long days from now, we may even laugh about this. But for now, there's only anguish.
This is 1988. Same father, same son. They're still out running. Out jogging at 6 a.m. Son, who is 28 now, married with a 9-year-old son. The father is 50. As they cross the road, the son puts his hand on his father's elbow and beckons from the oncoming hazard. You can hear them laugh as they sprint up onto the hill. The son does not run ahead as they run home, but stays in the same place as his father. They love each other a lot. You can see that. It takes a lot of work to take care of their love.
Sure, there'll be times when they hate each other.
And there will be times when they love each other.
But their favorite story will always be
Once upon a time in a supermarket.
There are little clues that my life is entering a new stage. My children are beginning to look middle-aged, and they pat me. A lot. In a very patronizing manner, for no apparent reason. I'm not going to ask them why they pat me. I'll take all the affection I can get from them in any way they wanted to show. But another clue change is a sudden desire to want to take small children on excursions. My granddaughter Sarah and I went on an adventure that sounds like the title of a B-grade storybook. Grandmother and granddaughter go to the zoo. First time. And we saw the lions, and the tigers, and the elephants, and the kangaroos, and the gorillas, and all the rest. Every last living creature the zoo had to offer. And even some possible dead ones. But for all my, oh, Sarah, look at the... Sarah was most impressed with the pigeons that hung out by the concession stand. What she liked about the pigeons was that she could almost touch them, but not quite. No matter how carefully, cautiously, quietly she approached, the pigeons always managed to stay just one small step ahead of her. The space between her and the pigeons moved in concert, and we spent most of the time at the zoo trying to close this moving space. All the other animals were over there, behind bars or moats, or water, in another world. But the pigeons were over here, in her world. They would be made even more real if she could just get her hands on one. What would you do with a pigeon if you caught one, Sarah? She didn't know. Possessing was not the plan. Just reaching for the pigeons was all that mattered to her. Riding home in a thunderstorm, Sarah fell asleep in the car seat behind me. In her parents' driveway, I sat and looked at her face for a long time. Who is this child? I wondered. I want to know her. Now that I am older and wiser and have the time and patience I didn't have as a mother, I will approach Sarah as she approaches the pigeons. Carefully, cautiously, quietly. And I will wonder as she does how one can be so close and so forever far at the same time. Sarah is not mine, and she never will be. There are 2 people who think of her as their daughter, and there are 4 people who think of her as their granddaughter. But Sarah belongs only to herself. There will always be this moving space between us, this untraversable distance that must be treated with respect. And just as Sarah doesn't know what she would do if she ever actually caught a pigeon, I don't know what I'd do if I ever actually caught Sarah. To love something and possess it are not the same thing.
This is my neighbor. Nice lady, coming out the front door in her looking good mode. She picks up her daily luggage, purse, gym bag for aerobics, lunch bag, and the garbage bucket to take out. She turns, sees me, gives me the big smiling hello, takes 3 steps across the porch and goes, ah! That's a direct quote at about the level of a fire engine at full cry. Spiderweb. She has just walked full force into a spiderweb. And now the pressing question is,
Just where is the spider now?
she flings her back in all directions, does a high-pitched jitterbug sort of dance, clutches at her hair and her face, tries to open the front door without unlocking it, tries again, breaks the key off in the lock, runs around the house with a dumbler face of,
This is the spider. She's been up since dawn working on her web, and all is well.
Nice day, no wind, dew point just about right to keep things sticky.
She's out taking the horns and thinking about the gnats that she would like to have for breakfast. Then all of a sudden, all heck breaks loose. Tornado, volcano, earthquake. Her web is torn loose and wrapped around this large U-shaped piece of meat.
Where is it going? And what
Spidey go, "Ah!" No. Maybe it's because it puts the life of adventure in such clear and simple terms. Human beings have been coping with disasters and catastrophes for a very long time. We're survivors, and we teach our kids about that. And maybe spiders do too, in their spider sort of way. The small creature is alive and looks for adventure. Here's the thing. A long tunnel going towards the mouth. The spider thinks nothing about it. Just goes. And suddenly, disaster befalls it. Rain, flood, powerful forces, and the spider's not far beyond where she started. And does she ever give up and say,
I'll forget it.
no. Sun comes out, clears things up, dries off the spider. And then she goes back over to the drain pipe, looks up, and thinks.
I wonder what's up there.
But it's a little wiser now. Checks the sky first. Looks for better toeholds. Says a spider prayer, and heads up through
Mystery,
toward the
light,
and
wherever.
Where am I?
Have you completed the form?
Sure was a long climb up.
Yes. Have you completed the form?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah. I just have one question.
A question.
Yeah.
Well,
About this one blank.
which blank?
One that says religion?
Yes. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God?
I believe in Howard.
Howard? You believe in Howard?
It all has to do with my mother's maiden name.
Your mother's maiden name?
Was Howard, and she grew up in a big family in Memphis, the Howard family. So I thought of myself as a member of the Howard family.
So, what does this have to do with God?
Oh, well, it's really quite simple. See, what had happened was, I got packed off to Sunday school at around age 4, and the first thing we learned was the Lord's Prayer, which begins with, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. But what I heard was, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And so I went right on believing that God's name was Howard. And since little kids in the letter prayers anyway, I didn't really realize what I was saying. Since I'd also been told that my grandfather had died and gone to heaven, God and my grandfather got all mixed up in my mind.
You're putting me on, right?
No, not at all. I was a part of the whole big scheme of things. I lived and worked and had my being in the family store. The whole universe was a Howard family enterprise. When I knelt beside my bed each night and prayed, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, I thought about my grandfather and what a big shot he was. Because after all, prayer ends with, For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
So, do you still believe in Howard?
Let me put it this way. 13th century Christian mystic Meister Eckhart said, The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me.
What the heck is that supposed to mean?
Not only do I believe in Howard, but Howard believes in me.
It's February and I have an appointment for a physical. In the waiting room there are these two other people, much older than I, a very nice looking, tidy, intelligent looking couple, both probably in their 80s. Here to see the doctor too, I guess. So I'm sitting here in my February state of mind, and this old man next to me nudges me and says,
Merry Christmas.
"It's February, right?" "Yeah, it's February." So I look over at him and say, "Merry Christmas to you." He leans back and he starts singing.
Oh, you better watch it. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you what.
All the way through the song, he finishes and says,
Merry Christmas.
"Could be me." Just then, the nurse comes and gets old Fred.
We've been married 60 years, and Fred's 87 now, and in our family we say his wiring is comfortable. He's had a few little strokes, there's some Alzheimer's in there, and he's just getting old. Every once in a while, he suddenly announces, "It's Christmas." The first time he did it, I thought I was crazy. So I heard him from upstairs going, "Hey, it's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. Let's decorate the tree." It was so strange. I called my daughters and told them what was going on. Well, they came over. They brought presents, too. They said, "For heaven's sake, Mother, it's not illegal." Well, we had a wonderful time. And the best part of the whole affair was that he said to me, "You know, I can't remember some of the things from when I was a kid. Tell me about Christmas when in my childhood." Well, he had a terrible childhood. When he was drunk, his father ran off. He was virtually orphaned. Had to leave home at a very young age. Well, I didn't want to tell him about all that. So I did something I had never done or thought I would do in 60 years with this man. I lied to him. I told him about the Christmas he got a bicycle, Christmas he was in a pageant, Christmas he got a rocking horse. Oh, and he loved it. The strangest part was, around that time that night, he forgot all about it. Christmas went right out of his mind. It's like Christmas Eve and good memories just didn't give me enough. This has happened 4 or 5 times now. In July and October, twice in December, and now in February. Each time he wants me to tell him about his childhood again, and I do. I'm getting so good at lying what Christmas used to be. I can't believe it myself. Each time I call the girls and I just say, "Merry Christmas," into the phone, and there they come. They always bring in presents and sing carols and bake cookies, the whole thing. Twice we even got as far as putting up a tree. They love to do it.
Just then, old Fred comes shuffling back up the hall with the nurse.
The bells sing on the way. No one from it is around.
See, the girls don't think of it as Christmas Eve. They think of it as Father's Day. And I kind of think of it as Valentine's Day. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah, you heard right. Not Greek dancing, but geek dancing. Actually, it's in the dictionary. The term refers to a carnival performer whose act consists of doing weird things, like biting the head off of a live chicken.
In current slang, a geek is someone who looks like he might be capable, one who bears to watch.
It also refers to someone who is older and more independent in lifestyle.
I'm sure there's a compliment in there somewhere. It's a bit strange, but interesting. A lot of us older types are a bit geeky, but we get to a point in our life where we go ahead and just geek out. Like the time when you wear your wife's slippers and you to the grocery store and you don't go back and change into your shoes. Or the time when you go to get the mail and you wear your bathrobe, like your oldest bathrobe. Or the time when someone knocks on your door and you go to answer and you don't check yourself to see what you look like. Some of us call it going to sea. Others call it the beginning of wisdom. Take your pick. Anyway, about geek dancing.
When I'm in the need of an uplifting experience, I go where people dance. I don't mean the joints where people get cropped and roll around the floor. I mean where people really dance.
I like dancing. I've never met a serious dancer who wasn't a pretty fine human being. I enjoy being surprised by the oddest looking couple getting up to the dance floor and waltzing like angels.
Every Sunday from 6:30 to 9:30, they play traditional jazz music from New York to Chicago.
I like to look around and find the king of the champion for the evening. A bally guy, kind of short, lame sneaky walks. If you saw him at the bus stop, you would think he was strictly nursing homes. But when you see him, you know, a dancer.
And he usually has his wife with him. A bit slumped up in dancing. It's been like that for 50 years or so. Check her shoes. If they are flat, they feel with a strap across the instep. It's sure that she can't inform what she's going to do.
He grabs her by the hand and brings them onto the floor, but it's an act just to set you up. And then it happens.
She steps into a permanent spotlight formed by his embrace. And once again, the years fall away, Cinderella and the prince move to the music of the rhythm and music in their hearts.
He dances flat-footed and with an economy of motion.
It takes about 50 years to get a partner this way.
Their eyes meet from time to time, and you know they've been dancing a long time. When I am home, I fully intend to be a geek dancer.
They end up becoming the best geek dancer there is available. It's a public responsibility for us, older generations, to help our younger generations geeks. Because I don't want to die alone in my bed. So at the end of the last dance, I sit, I nod, and I pass on.
All this reminds me of something I learned about the Hopi Indians. The Hopi Indians thought that there was no difference in dancing and praying. They thought both were necessary for a long and happy life. They say that to be peaceful is to have a quiet heart and take part in all of it.
Yes.
Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
What is the meaning of life?
I beg your pardon?
What is the meaning of life?
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, who knows? You might have the answer. And I'd hate to miss it because I was too socially inhibited to ask.
Once.
And only once.
I asked that question.
What is the meaning of life?
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 What is the meaning of life? I've got a serious answer. An answer that is still with me. The place where this happened has a distinct power of its own. On the Greek island of Crete, near a small village on a rocky bay, sits an institute dedicated to human understanding
terrible. Whole villages were lined up and shot for assaulting Hitler's finest troops.
So, how has it come to be here?
The answer is a man.
Alexander Papadouros, son of this soil. At the end of the war, he believed that those in Crete and those in Germany had a lot to learn from each other, a lot to give one another.
And Papadouros, his institute became a reality. The conference ground on the site of war, and excited communications between the two countries. By the time I visited there for summer sessions, Papadouros had already become a living legend. One look at him and you saw his strength, his passion, and his intelligence.
At the end of the 2 weeks seminar, Papadouros rose from his chair and walked into the bright green sunlight at the front of the room.
He turned and asked,
Are there any questions?
quiet look in the room.
These 2 weeks have stirred enough questions for a lifetime, but for now, there is only silence.
So I asked, Dr. Papadouros, what's the meaning of life?
People laughed at the absurdity of the question, and they stirred to go.
I'm going to answer the question.
He fished into his leather billfold and pulled out a small mirror. And what he said went like this.
When I was very young, during the war, we lived in a remote village, and we were very, very poor.
One day, when I was walking alongside the road, I came across pieces of broken glass. A German motorcycle has wrecked in this place.
I began to play with it a toy. It became the game for me to find what dark holes and crevices I could put there.
I kept this mirror, and as I went around growing up, I came to realize that this is not just a game, but a metaphor for what I might do with the light. I am not the light or the source of the light, but the light
The way,
The truth,
The light.
is there, and I can reflect it into dark places only if I allow it.
Then, holding the mirror carefully, he caught the bright rays of daylight streaming through the window and reflected them onto my face and onto my hands, folded on my lap.
Are there any questions?
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 Are there any questions? There's no way